Started 2 days till the draft, and the 49ers still don't know for sure who they're taking with the third pick. That's what they're saying, and candidly, we're buying it. Head coach Kyle Shanahan talking about their decision to trade up and where the pre-draft process has led them. Listen to this.
You know, when we made this decision, we knew that there were 5 guys that we felt that we'd be okay with taking. You know, we knew that there was 3 at the time exactly. That's why we thought 3 was a good spot to go to. After going through this whole process, I feel good about 5 guys at 3. And yeah, we probably started with 1 in mind, but that one's gotten better since, and so have all the other candidates. Do we know exactly who we want? Maybe, probably, but maybe not. I don't feel like we need to say that. And no one's really going to know whether we know or not until we pick. And that's kind of what we're comfortable keeping it at.
So what you see there is a skeptical David Pollack, and he may be speaking for a lot of people, saying, how in the world could the 49ers not know by now who they are taking? Well, I want you to listen to Adam Schefter on SportsCenter yesterday evening with the insight.
When the 49ers traded up initially weeks ago, there was one guy they had in mind, and I believe that guy was Mac Jones. Now, when they traded up to that spot, they also recognized the fact that there was going to be a month plus to do a deep dive into Trey Lance and Justin Fields, which is exactly what's happened. They've explored the other quarterbacks, and guess what? They like what they've seen, and they are very comfortable at number 3, and we're going to find out who the pick is Thursday night, but I don't believe right now they have made a firm decision about which quarterback they're going to take.
Okay, so that's Adam Schefter with the latest. Here's my entire squad. David, I'll give you the first word because you gave us the good face. So why so skeptical? What is your reaction to all this?
Bro, wah, 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 wah. You know what this is called? This is called covering your bleep, covering your backside. I mean, listen, they moved up. They know who they want, but what they want to make it look like, oh crap, if Justin Fields and Trey Lance and they become superstars, we just want you to know it was really close with Mac Jones. Like, we had him neck and neck, and we studied him for weeks and weeks and weeks. They know who they want. We're pretty sure at this point it's Mac Jones, but I think it's a good way of covering your bases and saying we've been studying him, and just we want everybody to know we're doing our due diligence, and we're not just overlooking, we're not just going to throw in our card.
I like it. Damien Woody, I was looking through your notes as well, and you were suggesting they got to know who they're taking. Everyone seems to think this. D. Wood, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with my guy, D. Pollack, man. You know who the hell you're taking. You move up to number 3, man. You know exactly who you are taking, okay? Believe me, Kyle Shanahan has a guy in mind that's going to run his system the way he wants it ran. Now, here's what I think is going on. Greeny, we've been on this show now for about a couple weeks, ever since this whole trade. We've been talking about Justin Fields and all the things that he brings to the table and what he will look like in the Kyle Shanahan offense. We've talked about Trey Lance and all his abilities and what the things that he could possibly do. So if you're the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan right now, you're like, maybe I need to throw out a little nugget right here to kind of get these guys off my back a little bit. But he knows exactly who he's going to pick at number 3.
Jeff?
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Green. Listen, I'd be shocked. I'm shocked that they're even having this conversation, because here's the truth of it all. John Lynch gave this to Kyle Shanahan. He's made it abundantly clear Shanahan's going to make the call on quarterbacks, because it's like a master chef, right? You don't mess with the ingredients. When you know what that guy wants, you let him go get it. So to Pollack's point, Wood's point, like he's put a little smoke screen out there just in case. He wants to hedge his bets. We're all like that. He's heard all the noise. He's went and watched these guys compete at their pro days, a couple of them each. So he's seen it all. So right now you got to be. Hopefully he has the same conviction that let him go and make that trade up to 3 that he did when he made that trade, bro. Because right now you don't want to be waffling in between picks. You know who you got. Go sell it. Go sell it to your team and to your fan base.
We'll do pancakes later. They're waffling. We got a whole carb breakfast routine working here this morning. But Kimberly, let me come to you. Let me find someone who can understand some sense. Is it reasonable to think that they made this trade with one thing in mind and then went through the process, because that's what you do, and did find things that have actually made them question that decision? I have been saying, and so have you, from the very beginning, that when a push comes to shove, it's going to be Trey Lance they take, and I still believe that. Kimberly, what do you think?
Yeah, I love D. Wood. saying, I like that energy where he's saying, like, get up. Like, all of us are influencers. We're going to influence, GMs and head coaches. Once we start talking about guys, they're like, oh, wait a second. Let's make sure we go back and watch some more tape just so D Wood knows we did our homework. I'm definitely feeling that energy. However, no, listen, over the weekend, I talked to coaches that were saying they're still restacking their board. So doing deeper dives on guys does happen this late. I don't think it happens at the QB position. I will say when the trade went down, I heard Trey Lance's name immediately. It was, people were hitting me up like, watch out for the North Dakota State kid. It's either going to be Mac Jones or Trey Lance. So I've never thought that it would be Justin Fields. But I think when you ask other coaches and GMs around the league, they assume it's going to be Mac Jones, and that's how they're projecting the draft to fall. Mac Jones at 3 to the 49ers.
That's why this is so important, not only because of who the 49ers' new quarterback is going to be, but because of the impact it's going to have. It will basically reshape the entire top 10 or so of this draft one way or the other. Now, David Pollack, let me circle all the way back to you because you cover the college game for us 365 days a year. You've seen every snap every one of these guys has taken. We have had some people say that to give up everything that the 49ers gave up, to go all the way up to get Mac Jones, would have been too much. We're questioning that decision. What will you say if that is the pick on Thursday night?
Yeah, no.
Well, all that matters is what they want and what they get. I don't give a dang, and they don't give a dang what we're saying and what we agree they gave up. If they go up and they get their guy, kudos to them. That's what they should do. What I would do is take Trey Lance. Listen, if we want to have this debate about more time, more evaluation, the more time that goes on, the more time you would think you could talk yourself into Trey Lance or Justin Fields. Because if you're just going on the tape of what you saw a year ago, there is no decision. Mac Jones is clearly the best quarterback in the draft. So the more time, I don't think that helps Mac Jones if they really are debating this thing. But Trey Lance, man, I just think he's special. I think he's got the ability to throw accurately, the ability to scramble and buy time, big, strong arm, huge upside. Again, drafting potential and who can get to that next upper echelon level, he's a guy that to me is tops in this draft or one of the tops in this draft.
Yeah, the bottom line of it is this. Had he had a season this year, again, he didn't opt out. The team didn't have a season. They created a one-game showcase for him. But quickly, David, because almost no one watching this program has ever seen him play, let's be real about it. If he had had a season this year, do you believe he could have played himself into being the clear-cut number 2 pick in this draft?
Maybe, because one of the things you see with him is accuracy isn't always consistent. Mechanics could use a little bit of work. Now, listen, he's going to run away from those guys at that level. Anyways, you watch him at the FCS level, he's such a dynamic, big, strong athlete that nobody can get him. But I think as a passer, if you'd have seen more steps, more strides, and just being accurate consistently, sure, I think it could have changed the debate. But my God, Greeny, if the kid goes 3, let's not cry for him. I mean, goodness gracious, 3 is pretty dang special.
Look, none of these guys, there was no reason to cry for any of them. All 5 of them are going in the top 10-ish, and probably sooner than that. So that point is well taken. Meanwhile, there's one other thing from this press conference you had to hear yesterday, and we'll call this Meanwhile on Planet Earth, and our thanks to our friends at Whole Foods Market for sponsoring Meanwhile on Planet Earth. Kyle Shanahan was asked if he could guarantee that Jimmy Garoppolo will be on the roster by Sunday. Listen to this.
I can't guarantee that anybody in the world will be alive Sunday, so I can't guarantee who will be on our roster on Sunday.
So George Kittle responded, "I'll call you on Sunday to let you know I'm alive, coach," which is hilarious. But if I could just come out to the group here, I mean, Jeff Saturday, I'll start with you. That's a weird thing to say, isn't it? I mean, of all the different directions
so
Kyle
morbid.
could have gone, that's a weird thing to say, Jeff, yes?
I mean, listen, Greeny, can you insult a guy anymore? I guarantee he wouldn't have said that about George Kittle. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have said, hey, I don't know if he's going to be here on Sunday. He didn't say that. You already traded up. You already told Garoppolo, hey, man, we're moving on from you. Now you're like, I don't even know if the planet's going to exist come Sunday. And you definitely ain't part of our plans if you said it that way. John Lynch, their GM tried to kind of back this thing off. But what a shot fired from your head coach to your starting quarterback. 2 years ago, you're in the Super Bowl with them. I mean, how quickly things change, Greeny. How quickly they change.
Yeah, Jimmy's going to look really good back in a Patriot uniform. We've been saying it for weeks. Sit tight, guys. We got much more draft stuff to come. But I got to get you to the game of the night last night, Showtime last night. Shohei Ohtani became the first pitcher to start a major league game while leading the league in home runs since Babe Ruth. It did not start well for him on the mound. This is bottom of one, and that's Nate Lowe hitting a 3-run shot off Ohtani, who would allow 4 runs in the first, but then he would settle in, and he would do it at the plate as well. In the next inning, this is with runners at first and second and 2 out, and that one's up the right field line, and that's going to score 2. And the Angels are right back in the ballgame. It's 4-3.